and here is my sweet cream or sweet corn casserole. 14 little circles out of this. Oh my gosh, that's 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. And here we are. I didn't think it was gonna pop up that easily. I gotta get to chopping those onions. And you know what I forgot on my plate? A piece of sausage. Putting this on top. And oh my gosh, these are delicious. Isn't that cute? And there, that's the finished one. I wish I had videotaped in there. Howdy everyone, this is Tricia and welcome to my channel. This is going to be the first of my Christmas craft videos for the year 2017 and I'm really excited to share some of these ideas with you. I think I'm going to be doing all Christmas for October and probably most of November, if not all of November. And I already have some ideas up my sleeve and I'm really excited. So let's go ahead and get to the first one. My first one is going to be a pumpkin snowman. So let me tell you what these supplies are going to be for this particular craft so that you can get all that together. If I forget anything, I'm hoping that during the video I will let you know. I may think of some other items to put in it. I may think of some things to just take out. So just bear with me as we create this pumpkin snowman together. Okay, the first thing I'm going to need is obviously some pumpkins. So I went to Michael's and I will tell you where I got my items, and of course you can get your items wherever you can find them. Find any substitutes that you want to do in any size that you want. The first pumpkin that I found, this is a carvable craft pumpkin. It's made of styrofoam. This is a 10.6 inch pumpkin. It's really big because I want a really big snowman. My second pumpkin, or my middle pumpkin, is this one right here. Also a craft pumpkin. It's a carvable also made of styrofoam. It's 8.6 inches. Now, these I got them at 60% off from Michael's. I think that one was like 30, but of course I got it at 16. I can't remember I think I got it maybe for like about 12 bucks. This was a $20 one, of course, 60% off. Figured out, I don't remember anymore. This was like maybe 3 weeks ago that I got them on sale at Michael's. They might have them for less now, or you can just find them somewhere else. No big deal. You can find them online. Okay, this is a 6.3 inch pumpkin. Now, if you already have some at home, just recycle what you have. If you only have small ones, then use small ones. Make a small snowman, or just use 2 of them. You don't need to use 3. But this is an idea that I'm going to be doing that you can follow along, or like I said, be creative, change it around, substitute items as you wish. All right, let's put the pumpkins aside. We are going to be needing some spray paint because they're obviously not going to be orange, they're going to be white. So I've got some inexpensive gloss white spray paint. This is from Dollar General. I think they were $1.25 a can. I got 2 because I'm not sure how much I'm going to need. So just get yourself your favorite type of spray paint that you can use on the styrofoam. The next item that we're going to be needing is a piece of foam board. This is a foam board, and it's not the full piece because I've already used some of it. This used to be a 20 by 30 inch piece of foam board, so there was a little bit more over here somewhere that made it a bigger piece. I got this at the Dollar Tree, so go to the Dollar Tree if you don't want to go to Hobby Lobby. Most of the items that I got them from Hobby Lobby, but you can go to the Dollar Tree and get a lot of the items from there instead. Okay, so we're going to need that. I'm going to put it aside. We're going to need some garland, and I'm glad that I did this because it reminded me of the pine garland. So you're going to need some pine garland. Any one that you find. I got this from Hobby Lobby. I've already been cutting some garland from here that I used in another project. So obviously this garland is going to go a long way. And obviously I'm not going to use the whole thing for this particular craft. I just need a little bit from here. So get yourself a good piece of garland that you can use for all your little crafts, because we're going to be using that same garland piece for other crafts. We're going to cut from that. Okay, we're going to be needing some stiffy felt. This is some black felt. It's a 12 by 18 inch sheet. I got these at Hobby Lobby. They're 99 cents each. They're not expensive at all. I went ahead and I grabbed 2 because I wasn't sure how many I'm going to be using. And this is going to be for the hat on my scarecrow. I'm sorry. I'm still thinking fall. For my snowman. I'm thinking now that I may just need 1, but go ahead and grab 2 because they're only 99 cents and you're going to be using them if you're going to follow along my videos that I'm going to be posting after this. So we're going to be using that more felt again later on. Now from Hobby Lobby, I got some craft fabric. So I got myself, I believe I got half a yard. Yeah, this is 18 inches of some, this is a flannel. I got this from their Christmas fabrics and I got it at 30% off. So just get yourself any piece of fabric, or if you want to go ahead and just get a scarf that's already made, I would go maybe to the baby section or the children's section and get a little scarf from there. Or, you know, if you want to knit one, you knit, go ahead and do that. Okay, you're going to need some ribbon. I also got this from Hobby Lobby, and I also used this on another project, and I wanted to match it up. It's up here somewhere, but I don't want to show you exactly what it is because that's going to be a surprise for later, and for another video later that I've already done. And but I'm saving it because I want this one to be my first one. Okay, so I'm using this leftover ribbon from that. This was a 10-yard roll, the 30 feet. It was $2.99. I got it at 40% off, so I think I paid maybe $1.79 for the roll for 10 yards. That was awesome. This is not a wire edge ribbon. You can certainly use a wire edge ribbon, which I've said many times before. That's what I like to use. And if you saw my bow making video, my handmade making video, I asked you to get wire edge ribbon. So if you have any of that left over, you can use it for this. If you made any bows from that, you can certainly use a bow from that. So I'll go ahead and link that down below in case you haven't seen it. So that's where you can learn how to make the bows. Okay, so this is my ribbon that you're going to need. And I got myself also, well, this I got it from the Dollar Tree, but you can get it at Hobby Lobby as well. This is only $1 though, 6 inches for 5 yards of decorative mesh. And I got this red, and it's got like a little red metallic going through it. When we open it up, you'll see that. But I'm going to be using some of this in my decorating. So I got that, and that's optional, okay? And I also got some picks, and I got these from Hobby Lobby. I'm jumping around from store to store. I'm just telling you where I got my items. You can get them from wherever, like I said. Wherever you can find, substitute it. You can get things like this at the Dollar Tree. These were $1.49 each. I got them at 40% off at Hobby Lobby. Look at these little pretty little picks. Let me just show you one, just so you can see that. What it looks like. Little berries on there. It's really cute. And then I got these little pine ones. And these were 99 cents. Again, they were 40% off, so they were like 60 cents each. Let's put that aside. Now, I'm also going to need some decorative snow. And these, I got them from Hobby Lobby. I have these left over. They're little balls, as you can see that. Little snowballs. These are optional. What you get is optional, okay? These are some snowflakes. I got a bag of snowflakes. I'm going to also be using this for another project. So if you want to follow along and do all the crafts that I'm going to be doing, then this is going to be great because you're going to use it for other projects. So, you know, don't worry about, oh gosh, it's so much. You know, like I said, think about what you actually want to use and buy only what you want to use. Okay, so from the Dollar General, actually, I got this snow cover, but you can't find it at Hobby Lobby, Walmart, etc. Snow cover, we're going to use some of that. You can use like batting if you have a little bit left over from your quilting or, you know, your pillow making, you can use that. Also from, not also, but again from the Dollar Tree, I also found this little fall snow, the little balls in there. And they had it in different sizes, by the way. They did have one that was like in this size. So you can find something like this there. I don't remember what I paid for this one at Hobby Lobby because I got it like 2 or 3 years ago. But I'm sure it wasn't very much. And I probably used the 40% off or it was already on sale. Again, this one, I'm sure I used a coupon because I don't normally pay full price for anything. Okay, from the Dollar Tree, I also got these snowflakes because I thought they would be really cute to decorate my snowman with. This is a pack of 10. Again, only $1. Optional on your ornaments that you want to use on it. Now, I need some twigs because I need my little arms on my snowman. So I've got these dried twigs. And these I already happen to have at home. As you can see, they have a little bit of snow cover from when I had it from another arrangement, you know, something that I made. I'm going to repurpose these, reuse them, recycle, whatever word you want to use. You can go outside and find some that may be already laying on the ground. Some woods, that if you have some woods nearby the park or in your backyard and they've already fallen and dried, then you can use those. Just clean up really good. Make sure there's no ants or little bugs crawling around in there. And you maybe wash them off with a little spray, a little bleach on them. Let them dry completely before you use them. So here we go. Some little branches from nature. These I got them, I believe, from Hobby Lobby. It was a very long time ago, and I'm very sure it was from a fall clearance. So make sure you look at those clearance things. Okay, we're going to need some craft paints to paint a face on our snowman. So what you're going to need now, if you can find a little carrot, and I wish I had looked, but I decided, I'm just going to give up. I need to start making this because time is going by. So I'm just going to use some paint to paint my snowman face. I'm going to use just some plain acrylic craft paints. I'm going to be using some black, a little bit of brown, some white, some orange for the nose, and some pink that I'm going to mix with the white to make some little rosy cheeks. And we're going to be needing a brush to apply that. So make sure you get yourself a little brush. And optional are Christmas lights. I got myself a string of Christmas lights. I was at the Dollar General and I went ahead and I grabbed these. There's 50 lights in there. I wish I had gotten the ones with a white string, but I couldn't find it. They only had the white string with a like all green or all red or something like that. They didn't have them in clear. So I went ahead and I got this. I don't know if I'm going to use this, or if you can see behind me, I've got these little fairy lights. Do you see these little twinkles? Let me put my hand behind one here. It's twinkling there on my fingers. I think I'm going to use that. So you can use a small, so you can see more of it over here, twinkling really well there. Okay, I'm going to be using that. It's battery operated to put around my arrangement. So whether you want to use these kind that you can just plug in, they're super inexpensive, or if you find yourself some of these now, you can find them at the Dollar Tree. I did get a package, but I'm using it on a homecoming mom. So I'm going to actually use this one that I already have. This one cost me like $3 or $4, maybe. Actually, I've got two of them, and I know the other one cost me $5, and I think I got them like at Marshall's, or it was there was a Tuesday store. So just look around those type of stores, maybe Burlington, because you're gonna find them for less than you would like at Hobby Lobby. Now again, you could use a 40% off on that. So anyway, let's get to moving, because we're gonna need some tools, and if we use any other decorations that we think along the way, I will mention them as I'm doing. You're gonna need your glue gun and some glue sticks, wire cutters, craft scissors. You're going to need some needle nose pliers or something to poke with, because I may decide to use a string of lights and poke holes from the inside of the pumpkins. How am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to carve the top off the pumpkin, so I'm going to need a craft knife. I got this at the Dollar Tree. It's nice and sharp, and it works really great on those pumpkins. And some more little pliers. This is a paddle of 22 gauge floral wire, and you're going to need some of that to tie your bow, or if you have a chenille stem, then go ahead and use that. Okay, these are your tools. These are the supplies that we're going to need. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our two bigger pumpkins. We're not going to worry about carving anything on the little one. We're going to carve this part out. So we're going to remove the tags. And this is where I'm going to start thinking, do I want to use the light strings, or do I want to use these? I think I'm going to go ahead and use the fairy lights, but I will explain how to use the string of lights. Okay, so now we're just going to poke at the top into it right there, as close as we can to this green and brownish stem part, and just poke and poke. Now, this is going to take a little while to poke around, because this is like the thicker part of the pumpkin on the top, and they purposely do that so when you're holding it and you're carving it, you don't push in. So it's nice and sturdy. It's awesome for carving out for Halloween, but I'm going to use these for Christmas. Okay, so this is what I'm doing. I'm just carving. We're going to fast forward through all this. I'm going to do that one also. All right, so I've carved out the two holes on my pumpkins, as you can see. What I wanted to tell you about putting these little Christmas lights into your pumpkins. Okay, if you're asking why I carved the top off, is because I am going to be putting them on top. And if this had been in the way, I wouldn't be able to put it nice and flat. So this is going to cover that hole anyway. So don't worry about it. Just don't make that hole too big. Just enough around on the stem part, okay? Don't go too big and make a big old, you're not making those big hole in your pumpkin to put candies in there or anything else. So just a small hole. So just remove that, and that's going to go on top. On the little one, I don't have to remove it because I'm going to be putting a little hat on him. So that's why I'm not doing that one. Okay, so now you know why I had to do that. All right, so now I'm going to take these outside, and I'm going to spray paint them. I chose the worst day for it because it's really cloudy outside. So I'm probably going to continue this video tomorrow because I need to let those pumpkins dry really well. So just take them outside in a sunny day or in a ventilated area such as your garage. Spray paint them and let them dry completely before you continue on with your craft. So we'll be back when that's all done. All right, I'm outside, and I just wanted to show you that I've spray painted the large, the medium, and the small pumpkin. And so far I've gone 2 coats on these, and I still have a little bit of paint left in here, and I still have the second can. So I think I am going to be using both cans, obviously, and I am going to be doing maybe 3 or 4 coats on these pumpkins. I think they look pretty good. I don't see too much of the orange There's some spots where, yeah, you can tell where it's going to need obviously a third or fourth coat, but I think they're looking really good. I'm going to let these dry for a good couple of hours before I come back, or maybe an hour before I come back and spray paint them and do the third and fourth coat on them. I don't want to do them all at the same time, obviously, because I don't want any drips. And I think they're looking pretty good already. So this is what you get with 1 can of spray paint. As you can see, it did a very good coverage, but we want a much better one. So we're going to go ahead and go to that second can. So there you go. Well, good morning. It is now the next day and my pumpkins have been painted and they're dry. I decided that 3 coats was good enough. So this is what I ended up with. Yes, I could have given it 1 more, but I think this is nice. So the next thing I want to do is I want to cut a piece of foam board where I'm going to be using as my bottom. Now, I don't have to do that. I can just make my snowman and just sit him on the table or floor, wherever I'm going to place this, just like this without anything underneath it. But I want to put some snow on here, so that's why I'm going to build a little bit of a base. So I've got my piece of foam board here, and I'm going to decide how big I want this. And I think I'm going to go with about maybe a 12 by 12. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, I think that'll be good. So I'm going to do 12 inches. Mark my 12 inches here. And another, let me put this over to the side. 12 inches this way. Okay, so now I've got my X-Acto knife, which is great for cutting on foam board. And I'm just going to cut down. And then the other piece here. The easiest thing to do would be to cut the whole piece out because then I can snap it. But I'm going to go ahead and try doing it this way. Yeah, there we go. And then just on this side into the fold. And I am cutting on my cutting mat here. I don't want to mess up my table. So now I'm snapping it on this cut and then just cutting it from this part. Okay, so here we go. I've got a 12 by 12 piece of foam board and I can put this away, use it for something else. So now I'm going to hot glue this here and start building the body of my snowman. So that's super easy to do. So I'm just going to get some glue on the flat part here of my pumpkin. Get some more glue sticks here. Put that in there. And it's a lovely Sunday today. We got up super early, went to IHOP, had a nice breakfast and some pancakes. And I said, hey, time to finish up my pumpkin because I'm so excited about it. Okay, so I'm just going to eyeball it. I'm going to put it back a little bit because I do want a little bit of surface area here in the front. So there you can see how it's offset is further, it's closest to the back here. And on the sides it's pretty much equal. Okay, so now the next thing we want to do is add the next pumpkin up on top of here. And it looks like I'm going to be having to move my camera back some so that you can see everything that I'm doing. Now make sure that when you put your pumpkin down, there's like a seam on the pumpkin. Let me get this on there. I don't know if you can see this line right here. There's like a seam. And there's one on the other side as well. Okay, make sure these are on the sides. And you want to do the same thing on this one. The seams are running this way and one running this way. So I want to put them on there because I don't want them to be, you know, facing to the front. And let's see. That's good. I did have a little hole here. But that should have gone to the back, but I wasn't paying attention. But I'm going to go ahead and leave it alone because I can just cover it up. Okay, so this is going to go here. Now let me go ahead and adjust my camera further back so that you can see the whole body of the snowman as I build it. I'll be right back. Okay, I think this is a little bit better. As I build upward, I will move the camera to that position so that you can see how I'm doing the top. Okay, let's go ahead and glue this one to this big pumpkin at the bottom. This is going to be the the middle part of our snowman, or his torso, if you will. I'm going to get lots of glue on there. You could use some E6000 glue, and then also use your glue gun so that the glue gun glue is quick set, but then your E6000 will be a little more permanent, a little bit better. But I feel like I've used a hot glue gun on these materials before, and it's worked really well. I'm just pushing down a little bit, making sure whatever areas need to make contact are making contact. Okay. Okay, now we're going to put the small one at the very top. Again, I'm going to choose, this side has a smoother face to it, so I'm going to use that, and I'm making sure my side seams are on the sides. Get some more glue in here. You're going to need a lot of glue, so make sure you get your little glue sticks ready. And I'm just using a mini glue gun, so I'm using mini glue sticks. If that gives you any idea, I've already on my fourth one here. I started off with one, and I think well, how many times have I filled it? Twice. So maybe I'm going through 3 now. Okay. Now I don't need any in the middle because there's a hole in the top of this pumpkin, so obviously that doesn't need to be there. Okay, just making sure that I do have the front that I want, and the side seams are matching all the way down. This is what I have so far, so you can see that that's building up a snowman. All right, so now we can start decorating it. Since we've got the pumpkins put together, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put some snow cover down here. I didn't put the snow cover down first because obviously then I wouldn't be able to actually glue the pumpkin to the foam board. So that would have done me no good. So I'm going to add the snow cover now that I've glued it. Okay, so I'm just going to take a piece from here. A double piece. Pay never no mind to those little sounds. My husband is doing some little work around the house. He's making some noise. Okay, I'm going to tear this open a bit here because then I need to spread it around this. Okay, and that's going to look good. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue down onto my foam board right here. And now, of course, I would be, if I was doing this, of course, I would have the front there facing me so I could see what I'm doing. But I want you to see what I'm doing, so. And I'm just going to bunch it up, making sure that it's not, that the edges are being covered. That it's not exposing the foam board is what I meant to say. Okay, I'm going to put some more glue here in the back. And bunch up this snow. Do the same on this side because I didn't get enough glue over here. And get it in there really well. And bunch it up. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is on the very edge, just more glue. It's like my glue gun just doesn't want to work anymore. My goodness. Okay, so now I'm just going to kind of curl these little edges inward and glue them down. I'm going to do that over here as well. Just curl those little edges in. And I'm going to do the front part here. Curl it and stuff it in there. And then I'm just going to do the other side. Just making sure that the foam board isn't exposed. But I don't want these raw edges of the snow either, so that's why I'm kind of curling and tucking those edges. But you could just do it however you want. Okay, and this little bit in the back, so if they meet up with each other. Okay, so there you can see where I've just put some snow cover on it, and then we can continue. Okay, the next thing I want to do is I want to paint a face on my snowman. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up this camera so you can see better what I'm going to do up here. And then we're going to let that dry, and then we'll continue decorating it. Okay. All right, so I'm going to get some brown paint because the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do some pupils and get some brown paint on a little plate like that. And then I've just got a thin brush like so with a little liner tip like that. Okay, and I'm just going to paint my pupils. And you can paint your little face however you want. You can use a like Sharpie marker and do it that way. I'm going to face it towards me just so that I can see what I'm doing. And I'm just going to paint a little circle. And I chose brown. You can do black pupils. You can do blue, green, whatever color you want to do them. You want to do purple, go for it. Probably wouldn't do red. That might look a little evil. Okay. So one little pupil, and it's going to look kind of odd to you, but that's because we're not doing the whole eye. We're just doing the pupil for now. And just trying to get them more or less the same size. They don't have to be perfect. So just two raisin looking pupils. Okay. That's all I've done. Okay. So now I actually poured a little bit too much paint on here. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the little nose. So I'm going to need some orange craft paint. This is just acrylic craft paints that you can get. I think they do have some at the Dollar Tree. I'm not really sure. I've actually not ever seen them, but I've heard that people that have videos and they do Dollar Tree that they actually get craft paints from there. So now the nose that I'm going to try and draw like a little squiggly kind of a carrot shape. So I'm going to start off wide, and then I'm just going to get skinny as I go along to a little point like that, and then I'm just going to fill it in. And just smooth out the paint as much as you can so that you don't have like little puddles of paint that will take a long time to dry. And there you go. That's my little nose. Okay, the next thing I want to do is I want to make some little cheekies on there. So I'm going to get a little bit of this snow cover, like cotton ball size. And if you have a cotton ball, just use that. I'm going to pour some white acrylic paint on my palette plate here. That's actually just a little styrofoam plate, but I use it as a palette plate. A little dot of white, a little dot of pink. Oops, a little bit too much came out. Okay, so we're going to mix those up. And I got too much pink on there, so I'm going to get some more white on there. There we go. Mix those up to make a very nice pale pink. Let me get some on my hand here, like so. So I'll just clean that up later. I'm just gonna get my cotton ball or the ball that I made from the snow cover and dip it into that pink. And then I'm going to do the little cheeks. And I'm just gonna pat them on there on each side. Kind of twist it a little bit so I can get that paint on there. There we go. Like so. So you just pat it and then kind of twist it a little bit. The same on the other side, pat it and then just twist it a little bit. And you can just use the other end to wipe off wherever you think maybe you got too much on there. Okay, so that's the base of my face. Ha! Okay, so we're gonna let that dry and then we'll come back and finish painting the face with some black paint. We're gonna draw the actual eye and then do some detail on that little nose, and we'll make a little mouth, and then we're gonna get on with the rest of the decorating. So we'll be back. Okay. Okay. Pumpkin snowman video continued. All right, so we're back and cut. All right, so we're back and his face is now dry, as you can see right there. That's his little face. You can tell that it's not some perfectly done job. It's just two brown dots, a carrot-looking nose, and some pink blush. So now what I want to do is I want to use some black paint, and I've already gone ahead and put some down on my little palette, some acrylic paint as well. And I'm going to do some circles around the pupils. And then I'm going to outline this little nose, make it look like a little carrot, sort of, and then do a little squiggly mouth. So let me go ahead and get my thin liner brush and pick up some of that black paint and do some pupils. Not some pupils, sorry. The eye outline. Like that. Now I'm going to do the other side. And I want to make sure that I do it the same, where it's up against on the right side. And then, that one looks a little evil, but let's look at it. Look at that. Okay, so now I'm just going to make some like little lashes. So I'm just going to go over it, like so. And do the other side. I can't see what I'm doing, but I'm hoping it looks like lashes. It's not as pretty as the other side, but let's go ahead and make them look sort of kind of the same. I'm going to make the side a little bit thicker. Add a little extra flick on there. Okay, now I can fix this side. Over. Now I'm just going to go around the edge of the little pupils. So that's basically what I did. And I'm just going to go around the edge of the pupils. Just outline that. And then the other one as well. Okay, so then I'm going to do a little white. I'm going to pick up some white at the bottom of this brush. Do a little white dot on the brown. See, a little white dot. Do it on the other one as well. And now I can continue with, let me just wipe off the paint off the edge then there. Continue with outlining the little nose. So I'm just going to follow the edge of it. And then on the other side as well. And now that I've done the first line, I can thicken it a little bit wherever I feel I need to. There we go. And then I'm just going to do some little short, little skinny lines inside of my nose. There we go. And our mouth is just going to be a little squiggly line. A little squiggly, kind of a little smile, like so. And then I'm just going to do two little curvies on the edge, or actually on the ends. One here. One here, Gives him that little dimple and the smile. There we go. And that's it. That's all I'm going to do for his face. I'm going to move the camera because we need to start making a hat and continue decorating. All right, what I've done now is I've put my snowman off to the side here. Let me face him this way so maybe you can, actually you're not really seeing him, but my snowman's here in the back and he's finishing off drying while I'm going to go ahead and make the hat. What I want to do is, let me bring this over here where you can see it. What I want to do is I want to measure the top of his hat so that I know how big to make my hat rim. Okay, so that's the first thing I'm going to do. And the diameter is about 5 inches. Okay, that is just the top of the head of my pumpkin, the head of my snowman. So I want to make sure this rim is actually bigger than that. So I know that 5 inches is my size of my scarecrow, my snowman's hat. So I think I'm going to go 8 inches in diameter to do the whole rim. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these stiff pieces of felt, and the first thing I'm going to do, let me move this to the 10 line here so that I know that 18 here is my 8 inches this way. Let me get my rotary cutter so that I can go ahead and use that to cut. All right, I'm back and I've gone ahead and I've looked at the 8 inches again, and I've made sure that 8 inches is going to be good enough for both sides of my hat on the head, like this way and that way is what I mean, like, okay? So I'm going to go ahead, I'm aligning it here on the 10, going up to the 18, that's going to be 8 inches. You can measure this however you can. If you don't have a cutting board, go ahead and measure it as best as you can. All right, so we're going to move this little piece out of the way. These are 8 inches. So let's put this again on the 10. My 1 is way over here, 0 is way over here. So I'm just starting right here. So that's why I'm going from the 10 to the 18 because that's 8 inches right there. And align your straight edge ruler. If you don't have a rotary cutter, you can certainly just use some scissors. The next thing I want to do is I want to round off. So if you happen to have an 8-inch plate, something that's a circle that you can use as a pattern that'll be big enough to do the rim of your hat, then use that as your pattern. This is the way that I'm doing it because, you know, I just like to do things difficult and the hard way. So let's go ahead and now round off my hat here, my little square, my rim, whatever you want to, however you want to refer to it. And I'm just rounding it off. Okay, I did those little curves, but I'm now doing them a little bit more so it's more of a circle and not just a square with rounded corners. Okay, so that's more or less. Okay, it's not a perfect circle. It doesn't have to be. If you want to make it a perfect circle, go right ahead. But this is my circle. And I'm just going to look at it against my snowman over here, and it's perfectly fine. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to get into the center and do a little cut, because remember I left the stem on top of that pumpkin, the small pumpkin that's the head. I left the little stem on there, so the little stem needs a little hole to go through. So I'm just going to eyeball this. Let's see. Right about where the 4-inch line is, and make about a 2-inch cut there. Turn it around about where the 4 inches is, and do another about 2-inch cut there so that I have this. Okay, and that's so that the stem on top of the pumpkin on the head will go through here. And then of course this is the rim of our hat, but now we need the top part of our hat. Now you don't have to do it this way. You can make them like a little knitted cap style. So if you want to get some fabric and cut that out, or if you find a little baby knit cap, you can use that as a hat. But this is what I'm doing. I'm doing a little top hat on my snowman because I'm going kind of in that theme of things with my decorating. I'm adding some snowman, but I'm also adding top hats here and there in my decorating. So that's why I'm doing it this way, and you can follow along. Okay, the height of my, what would this part be? What would you call this? Now, this is how, I could use my second piece of foam and then just use that, make this part any diameter I want. But I really don't want to waste anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and use this piece. And I think that'll be fine. Let's see. Well, maybe it's too thin, so maybe we do need to use 2 pieces of foam. So I need to decide, or felt actually, I'm going to decide how tall I want my hat to go. And I have decided that I want it to be, let's see, I was thinking 4, but it's more like a 4.5 to 5 inches. So I'm going to decide that I'm going to go 5.5 inches. So I'm going to get this here, and I'm going to measure 5.5 because I want the longest bit, okay? I'm going to measure 5.5, or 5 inches, not 5.5. 5 inches up. So I got it at the 15, so I'm going to cut right here where the 10 is. Right. Oops, this is not straight. There we go. And just cut all the way down. Okay, so now I've got this 5-inch strip by 18 inches, by the way, in case you wanted to know. It was a 12 by 18. So here we go. Now we can use this piece to do the top of our hat, and here we can decide what size do we want it? Small? Do we want it the whole bit? Which I kind of like. I like the whole bit. And then I'm just going to overlap about 1 inch on this side and 1 inch on this side. So that's going to make it about 17-inch circumference, okay? And the diameter is 5 inches. Wow. Okay, so there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and put glue along this edge. That's about 1 inch in to that edge. There we go. Bring over the other end and create this. See, can you see that? Just create that, and that we're going to glue onto here. Okay, super easy. And of course, we're going to want another one that goes in the very top, but we'll worry about that in a little bit, and I'll show you exactly. Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and do that right now. Okay, let's get this piece that we had left over from where we cut, this big piece, because I want to save that big square. I'm going to put this, I'm going to glue this to here, but I'm going to go ahead and first cut a piece, a little square, and it doesn't have to be perfect, so I'm just going to cut that off right there. This is going to be the top part of our top hat, okay? Let's take this little sticker off. Throw that over there. Okay, so let's just put some glue along the edge here. Let me get some more glue in my glue gun. Close my rotary cutter there. Be safe about things. All right, let's get some glue on the edge. Now, when you're putting the glue in there, putting the glue on the edge, you can angle your glue gun inside rather than on the outside, because if any glue drips, it'll glue on the inside, and we won't care about that because we're not going to see that. But you don't want any glue dripping on the outside and then kind of messing things up. Now, it could happen, of course. When you're trying for it not to happen, that's when it happens. So just put little light bits of glue. You could always come back and see where it didn't catch, and then just put some glue there. And I'm just going to go about halfway, actually, because by the time I get around to the other side, I really don't want this part of glue to dry. So I'm just going to put this piece right on top. And then now all I have to do, oops, is either lift this up and put it on the edge here and there so it'll catch. My shirt is not letting you see what I'm doing. Okay, so I just put some glue on that edge in there, and now I'm going to press this down and just make sure that it is sort of a circle. And I'll just go on the inside and add some more glue where I see that it didn't catch or where I see that it's kind of moved around. Okay, so now we're just going to press that down lightly. So we don't want to mess up the foam here, so we don't want to press too much on it. But we just want to push down and make sure that it's catching. Okay, so what do we do now? We're going to go around the edge with our scissors and trim. I need to move myself because my dark shirt is contrasting with this black and you're not really seeing. Okay, so we're going to go around the edge now and just cut right along the wall of that. Well, there seems to have been a glitch in the matrix. As you can see, I've got a snowman here that's got some decoration on him. The last thing you saw me do was putting together the top hat, and I was trimming the top part, which was up here on the top hat. So all I did was just finish trimming it so that it was right up on the edge here, and glued any little spots that were still not glued well onto that. And then I took that part and then glued it to the brim of the hat, and then I put some ribbon around it, just around here. And because it's a thin ribbon and I'm going to be decorating with some pine, I put it up a little bit higher than, instead of putting it way down at the bottom, I put it a little bit higher. There's about a 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch gap right there because it's a thin ribbon, as I said. So just take a look at that. There's the hat, and you'll see that there's some snow on the hat, and some of it's going to fall off right now. And that's because I completed my whole snowman when I realized that I was missing parts of the video. So I've taken some things apart, and I'm going to recreate that for you right now. And so let's continue on. Once I've got the top hat all glued together, I went ahead and I glued it to the top of my snowman, and then I did little droplets of glue, just like I did here at the bottom, and then drop the little snowballs. That's what I did at the top, and then you'll see me add this in the rest of the video. So I'll explain that. Also, what I added and was missing is where I added these little twigs, and I decided that I wasn't going to take those off because that's really easy explanation here. All I did was I took those pointed pliers and poked a hole, put glue on the tip of the little branch, put some hot glue in there, stuck it in there, did the same on the other side, and I put some little bits of little snowballs on both sides. I also have one branch here in the back. I had also glued some on the other side, and I'll go ahead and do that. All I'm doing is taking these branches and putting some glue. Oops, these two pieces want to fight. Putting some glue on them. And then just sticking it to the back of my snowman. Like so. And just because I wanted some contrast in the back there. Now the next thing I did is I took some garland, and all of this was already on my hat, and it was already in the bottom, and I took it off so that I can recreate this for you. I believe this is the one that I used on the bottom. This is the part that I used in the hat. So all I did was I kind of fluffed up my pine, and I cut off the length that I wanted from that garland that I showed you at the beginning, that I wanted to fit. I didn't want it to go all the way around to the front because I've got some flakes and some snow here, and I do have that part in the video, so I'll describe that later. So we're just going to skip right through that for now. Okay, so I'm going to take some U pins, some greening floral pins. These that look like these giant staples. I don't know if you can see it right there. Anyway, this is a floral pin, and I'm just going to use that to attach my garland on the sides, on this side here, and one in the very back. So I'm just going to put that on there. Push that pin in there. One on the other side. Let's get this on here. Nice and tight on there. And then just fluff up the pine. One on the back, just to make sure it's holding on. You could put some glue onto the pine, the garland, and then just glue it against the pumpkin. But I'm kind of glad that I didn't do that because I was able to take it apart so that I could recreate this whole bit for you. So this is basically it. You're just going to put some garland on the back side, like so. Okay, then we want to do the same thing on the hat. So this is the piece that I had used on the top, and it's got some snow in there because, again, I had also glued some snow onto it, and I'll show you, I'll talk about that in the rest of the video. So basically, I also measured around my hat, and I cut off a piece of garland and just fluff it up, make it look pretty, and then just bring it around. And then on the back, you're going to take two ends and you're going to bring them together and twist them together. That's all you're going to do. Just twist them and put them together. And therefore, you don't even have to do any gluing. But if you want to go ahead and glue it down, you can. Okay? So now all I'm doing is I'm making sure that the garland isn't pushing down too much on my brim. So I'm pointing up the little branches upward. There we go. Okay, the other part that was missed was when I made the bow. And I already have my bow made, and I had to pull it off. But I'm going to go ahead and do another one real quick. Now, I did have requests to do handmade bows, and I did do a video, and I posted that up this past Friday. So I'm going to go ahead and put the link to that video on how to make handmade bows. Here's one of the examples here, one on that other wall over here. And again, that'll be in the description in the box below. Okay, so let me just do this real quick. All I did was take some ribbon, and I decided where my little tail was going to be, and I twisted it, made a loop, pinched it, twisted, made another loop, pinch and twist, and I just kept on doing that till I had 3 loops on each side. I don't know if this is enough ribbon to do that, so I'm just going to do 3 and 2 on one side, and we'll pretend that's it. And then I took some wire, cut off a piece, tied it around the ribbon, and I'm going to go ahead and do this because I can use this bow for another project. And then I just trimmed the little tail, cut it at an angle, and I had a little bow, which was this one right here. So then I'm just going to take some glue. You can see some of the pine on there where I had to rip it off. Let me get some more glue into my gun here. All right. I'm going to put plenty of glue in there. And I did a whole lot to the snowman, and you'll see that. But I went ahead and I took it all off because I didn't want you to see and then spoil the end of what it actually ends up looking like while I reenact this. So this is why you're not going to see the completed part here. I took a lot of bits off. Okay, so I'm just going to tuck in this bow right here in the front, like so, kind of off to the side. All right, then I showed you those decorative picks that I had purchased from Hobby Lobby. And what I did is I trimmed the stem on them, okay? These are and then all I had to do was add some glue in there. And I chose to put one right up here in the front of this bow, okay? Right in front of it, next to the bow. And then I went to the opposite side at the bottom and put the other pick down here. So we're going to put plenty of glue. And put that on this side. And get that in there. Get it to hold. The other thing that I had was the pine cones on the little picks as well. And what I did is I just pulled them off the stems. And I got all these little bits of pine cones, and then I just decorated at the top. And I decided to put, if I remember correctly, I decided to put one kind of in the middle here in the front. Let me see, this one's got a little bit of snow. Let me get another glue stick. Oops, that's a glitter one. There we go. And on the side as well, I put another pine cone on the side of the, and I think I put 2 of them up there. Let's do that. My glue gun doesn't want to keep up with me. Let's put another one next to that one. And then I put one down here. And I had a little snowflake like this that I put here against here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. It's got some pine on there where I pulled it off. I put that there. And then the other two pieces of, well, actually one more on this side. I don't remember exactly where I put them now, but I'm going to put it right here. And then I'm going to take this other one and put it on the other side next to the other little berry pick over on this side. Okay. And then all I did was I took more of these little snowballs and glued them all over, and then I took some of the flakes and sprinkled it on top as well. I made little puddles onto the greenery, and I did that as well on the top. And then I'm going to continue decorating in the next clip. And just put, so off here on the side, I put some little pine. And now, here we go. As you can see, it's looking really cute. I love it, I love it, I love it. I'm just fixing some of this garland back here. Okay. And I'm going to put some more glue down here so this snow cover stays down because it keeps lifting up. I obviously didn't stick it well enough into the corners. So that's what I'm doing. And I think I noticed up here in the front that it was doing that also right up here. So I'm going to turn it around. Yep. I needed glue right there. It's not stuck to the very, very edge. So it doesn't lift up anymore from there. And then over here as well. There we go. I think that'll be good. Okay. This garland is dropping a lot of these little pine bits, and it makes all this look dirty, so you just want to kind of gently blow them off. Let's see. A little more here on this little edge. I just want to make sure those edges are little puddle of glue there. Drop some of these rogue snowballs on there. And this one over here is lifting up, so I'm going to put some glue there. Cover up that excess glue that I just poured with some more little snowballs. Look at him. He's looking really cute. Okay, I did get some mesh, so I'm going to go ahead and cut up some of this mesh. Let's slide it over. And I'm going to cut about 6 inches length pieces, more or less, just 6 inches. Okay, so see how it kind of wants to curl on you? Just turn it the other way and then just kind of fan pinch so that you have a little kind of a bow shape like that. You're going to take some wire. Now, if you have chenille stems, you can use that. Just cut your chenille stems to like about 2 inch to 3 inch little bits, maybe 3 inch, and you'll cut 4 of them out of one piece of chenille so that you can tie these little bits and you don't have to be worrying about putting floral wire if you don't want to use floral wire. Only because floral wire, I love using it because it kind of becomes invisible with whatever you're tying it down with it. But the thing about it is that you can also poke yourself with it. So anyway, I put some glue on that little stem of wire that I twisted to tie this little bow. And then I'm just going to tuck that mesh into my garland right there. I'm going to do this all the way around the back, and then I'm going to do some down here. So I'm going to go ahead and speed up this section, and that's what I'll be doing. Okay, well, I think you guys are getting the idea of what I'm doing with these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the recording right now so that I can give my camera a little bit of a break, and I'm going to continue doing more of these and putting them on my arrangement, and I'll be back when that is done. All right, so I'm back, and I finished putting mesh all the way around on the back, tucked it into the garland here, and I've also tucked it into the top of the hat here. And not only that, but I've also been adding these little balls of snow that I had that I showed you at the beginning that I put here on the snow. I also put some here and there in little clusters running down the side of him. And then I also put some at the top on the hat, as well as some of that other flake snow. And like I said, I will run the camera around it so that you'll see the whole finished product up close. But here's what we've got so far. We're not finished because I still got more little balls of snow, and I still got some more snowflakes. And of course, I've got a scarf and then a little bit of a touch up with some little fairy lights that I'd also like to put on there. So I'm going to continue. So the next thing I want to do now is I want to cut a piece of cloth to make a scarf. So I'm going to go, this is, let's see, what is the width of this fabric? This was a 42-inch width fabric, which means all the way across when you open it, it is 42 inches. Okay, and I got half a yard because I wasn't sure how much of it I was going to need, and besides I really liked it, and I thought, well, I'll probably use it for other crafts. So I'm going to cut about, let's see, this is not cut straight, I can tell right now, because the little stripes on the plaid are going every which direction except straight. So I'm not going to worry about the pattern. I'm just going to worry a little bit about cutting one edge a little bit straight. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to cut about, I think about 4 inches of fabric. I think this side is actually a little bit nicer, so I'm going to cut from this side. And I'm just going to use the whole 40-inch bit. And we'll see how that fits around its little neck for a little scarf. So then I'm going to save the rest of this fabric. And this is what I've cut. A strip right here. And I'm going to use that for his scarf. Now the bow is hanging with little tails on this side, so I want to have the scarf tied over here and hanging on this side. So I'm just going to bring it around to the front, tuck it around his little neck like so. I'm going to turn it around so I can look at it, and I'm actually just going to tie it like into a double knot. So here we go. Tuck those little raw edges in, and one more little knot. And it's okay if one end turns out shorter than the other, that's fine. Okay, so that's all I did, is I knotted it. Now I could leave these edges just as they are, but I think I'm going to cut little shaggy bits, little bits hanging off of it. So I'm just going to cut this edge on the bottom first, because that is the edge of the fabric where it's kind of sealed and it won't, it's a little bit thicker. So I'm just going to cut up about 1.5 inches to 2 inches, and these little bits are about 1/4 inch. And just do that to both of these. So that's what I did. I just made it into little bits like that. Little tassely ends, I guess. What would you call that? I don't know. Just cutting up. And you could have probably done that before you wrap it around, but I wasn't sure if the length was going to be okay or if it was going to be too long. Okay. Now I don't want to hide this snowflake, so I'm just going to move this around a little bit more to the side, so I don't hide this little snowflake right here. Actually, I could bring one of the ends of the scarf behind this little arm, and then the other end in front of it. So something like that. That looks cute. And we don't want to tie it too tight around the neck, because we don't want to end up with too of a skinny scarf. We want it to be, we want it to look like a scarf. So don't tie it too tight. Just bring it out a little bit. Okay. There we go. Isn't that cute? We're almost done. I've got these snowflakes, and I've got a little bit more of these little balls that I want to hang. Or not hang, but I want to glue to the, let's see. Let me get 2 snowflakes that aren't tangled up with each other. That one, and that one. Okay, these 2 seem to not want to untangle, so I'm just going to cut the little strings off, because it seems like they were sharing a string. Okay. I'm going to glue, I kind of want to glue this snowflake standing up here, but I don't know if it'll hold, so I'm just going to glue it to the side by one of the little tips here. Let me look at it from the front and just glue down that little tippy tip down so that the snowflake is sticking up in the top. Can you see that? Put it like that so you can see. Okay, the contrast. Okay, there we go. Now I've got one more big one here. Let me look at the front here. I'm going to put it like right next to his little face. Glue it right about right there. Put the light on it. Okay, so I'm going to put more of these little snowballs here and there. And I put some on these little twigs back here. Just stuck them here and there. Now I'm doing it onto the little arms. Wherever. One on the very tippy tip up here. Right about here. And on the other side as well. Little tippy tip right here. Somewhere down the line here. Let's get these guys. One of the little tip here as well. Way over here. Okay, let's hang these little snowflakes. These have these little strings on them, which I'm going to go ahead and leave on there. And I'm going to put one on this little branch. Slide it down. Try not to mess up anything. There we go. Just hang that on there. On the other side, I think I can hang two on this side. On this very bottom one, put it kind of in there. I want it to kind of dangle a little bit, so don't put it so close. Okay, now the other one on the other taller branch, a little bit higher up. Right about, I want it over here. Not too far in. Okay, there we go. And then you can see the little snowflakes hanging off of his arms. And I think that about does it for our snowman for this little part. I'm going to get some little lights and I'll be right back and finish this up. Alright, so I've got these fairy lights and they're battery operated, so I'm going to turn them on so you can see them twinkling against my top here. And this is about maybe about 4 feet of light, and you can get some that are longer. That'll be awesome. I'm going to put this back. All right, so we had a little kind of a cut there because my camera died on me, so I'm back. And as I was saying, I hope you give me a big old thumbs up. Please subscribe. I want to thank everybody who has already subscribed. On the 29th, I did reach 500 subscribers. I'm really happy about that. I know it's not much compared to a lot of other creators here on YouTube, but for me that is a really nice milestone and I'm really happy with that. And I'm please subscribe, please share on your social medias like your Twitter and your Facebook, etc. Just share the videos, and I really appreciate if you would. I'm going to go ahead and do a close-up of my pumpkin snowman, and again, enjoy.